Tomorrow, the House is going to vote on a resolution to condemn anti-Semitism. Can we all just agree that that's bad? Okay. Yes. But this is a direct response to a series of controversial comments made by freshman Congresswoman Ilhan Omar. Most recently, you know this, last week she was speaking at a progressive town hall about Israel, and she told the crowd, quote, "I want to talk about the political influence in this country that says it is okay for people to push for allegiance to a foreign country." Well, this comment got widespread backlash, and in a letter to Speaker Nancy Pelosi, the CEO of the Anti-Defamation League, Jonathan Greenblatt, called her reference to foreign allegiance a vile anti-Semitic slur. Congresswoman Anita Lowy responded on Twitter, writing in part, "Lawmakers must be able to debate without prejudice or bigotry. I am saddened that Representative Omar continues to mischaracterize support for Israel." Now, while the draft of the Democratic resolution, which was obtained by NBC, does not mention Congresswoman Omar by name, it does spell out the remarks that she has said. Christine and Evan are back with me. So, Christine, the top Democrats, including Nancy Pelosi, Steny Hoyer, are behind this resolution. Should the Democrats be doing this?
Absolutely. You know, if somebody speaks out in a way that is anti-Semitic or racist, sexist, homophobic, bigoted or discriminatory in any way, you need to respond to it. As Evan said before, principles only really matter if you use them when they make you uncomfortable, and that would mean against a member of your own party. Now, look, I wish...
A rising star freshman, yep. Congresswoman. So the Washington Post columnist, Henry Olsen, argues, in fact, that the Democrats aren't going far enough. Speaker Pelosi and the rest of the leadership need to realize that Omar has become their party's version of Representative Steve King. They must do what Republicans recently did to King, remove Omar from her seat on all House committees. Does he have a point, or is that really a step too far?
No, he has an absolute point. Ilhan Omar has a history of making anti-Semitic statements and putting out anti-Semitic tropes. And she's always said, oh, maybe it's a little bit of naivete, or it's been excused as naivete. After how much naivete do you realize it's not naivete? It's something deeper. She said that Israel has hypnotized the world and is making the world not see their evils. She's gone out and said it's all about the Benjamins. Either repeated anti-Semitic statements made by her. And we have seen on the far left more and more anti-Semitism rising in embrace of anti-Semitic figures. Look at the Women's March leadership. Linda Sarsour, Tamika Mallory, who have gotten in trouble for significant anti-Semitism. They've held up Razmia O'Day, a convicted terrorist.
But let's stick to this. Yeah. But is this a lukewarm response then?
No, I don't think it's a lukewarm response at all. Look, it is very serious that Speaker Pelosi and Steny Hoyer and members of leadership are stepping out criticizing a brand new freshman member. Usually, you know, freshmen get a lot of latitude. She should not be given latitude. I'm not arguing for that. But what they're doing here is very significant and very powerful in sending a message. And, you know, I just wish Republicans were as willing to step up quickly and strongly in the case of what Jim Jordan tweeted, for example, at Jerry Nadler. We would have a more balanced situation.
I want to get to that in a minute, but can we stick to this for just a second? Because the star of this freshman class, AOC, is tweeting repeatedly about this. Here's the first one. "It's not my position to tell people how to feel or that their hurt is invalid. But incidents like these do beg the question. Where are the resolutions against homophobic statements, for anti-blackness, for xenophobia, for a member saying he'll send Obama home to Kenya?" And then in another tweet, she says, "Don't even get me started on misogyny."
Well, look, this is
where does it start? Where does it end?
Well, look, a number of the questions she asked, which are fair questions about other bigoted ways of being and speaking, a lot of those happened when the Democrats weren't in leadership. Not all, but right now we're seeing Nancy Pelosi's leadership be swift and strong. And I just want to say, for the record, we don't have to go into it. I take exception to the comments you made about the Women's March organizers, just for the record.
Well, we won't have to get into that, but I'll disagree with you on that. But I think Alexandria Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, well, she's right. Yes, we should not tolerate anti-LGBT statements or any form of bigotry or discrimination. That's a whataboutism, what she just pulled. And whataboutism takes pressure off and deflects from the original offense. And Ilhan Omar has a repeated history of making anti-Semitic statements, and she seems to not care. You saw when after she put out that big apology from the "It's all about the Benjamin's baby" tweet, and she got in serious trouble less than a month ago, that she was caught in the halls of Congress and she could not be bothered. She's just chewing gum saying, "I put it all in my statement."
All right, well, so let's go now to Jim Jordan. He's facing a backlash of his own after tweeting, quote,
As he should.
"Nadler feeling the heat big time, jumps to Tom Steyer with a $, as he asks. Conclusion, impeaching our president before first document request." And then Jerry Nadler responded, "To be clear, this tweet counts both as inane and anti-Semitic." So Republicans have been very outspoken about Omar's comments about the president, but we haven't heard much about this back and forth, really.
And it's just an example of a double standard. You know, the Republicans are going to criticize Speaker Pelosi for not doing enough, and then when a member of their own party does something anti-Semitic, clearly having caused hurt out there and adding to what you rightly cited as anti-Semitic rhetoric across the country, you hear just about crickets.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.